What's up, everybody? Today I'm going to talk about why I took a year in county jail and why I took the first plea deal that I was given by the state. So, when I went to court, on my way to court and holding in one of the holding tanks, I ended up coming across somebody that was talking to a buddy, and they were talking about rotation. And I didn't know what rotation was, I never had heard of it. So, I asked him, kind of butted into what they were saying. Not butted in, but I asked him, I was like, after he was done, I waited for him to finish because I was really interested. So I listened to what he was saying, and he's talking about how your family can, you get contact visits, you can see your family, and he was talking about how you can smoke cigarettes there, and you can't smoke cigarettes anywhere, and even in prison anymore. But since you're a trustee and you're at one of the substations, your family can come and see you, and they can bring you cigarettes, and you can smoke cigarettes. And I didn't even smoke cigarettes at the time, but just the fact that you have freedom out there sounded amazing to me. And I knew I was going to be doing a little bit of time, so I was grateful that I didn't pick up the other charge that I got put away for. But anyways, I ended up asking him what it was, and he said it's rotation. He said when you get to the San Bernardino County, when you get to the jail there, they call it Camp Snoopy, but to Glen Helen, when you get to Glen Helen, he was like, you put in, you talk to officer, I think it's officer something for his name. You put in a request slip, and you put your name and your ID number, your main ID number on it, and then you put in a request to go out on rotation. And rotation is at the other substations, and you're a trustee out there, and you wash officers' cars and patrol cars. It's pretty cool, and you're just out there with three other inmates. It's four total, and you're not locked behind bars. You have some sort of freedom, and I mean, if you're going to be locked up and you can have some sort of freedom, and then I'm all for it. So I could go. I knew I can go out there, and the one thing the guy did tell me, he was like, if you have a program to do, they're going to send you back down for your program. He's like, but you could still go before. So he's like, once you get sentenced, he's like, you can't do it though until you get sentenced. He told me, the guy was telling me. So I was like, so in my head, I was tired of going to court anyway. I don't in the morning. They wake you up early as shit in the morning. They get around everybody up. It's going to court. Get you up super early while everybody else is sleeping in and stuff. It's usually after breakfast, but breakfast is like 4 or 5 in the morning, depending on where you're at. But it seems it's usually still dark out. So, anyways, we ended up going. Uh, I went into court, and they told me that the state offered me a 365. I would do 8 months. It's a county lid. It's called. It's basically in California, you get 365 days total that you can do in county. And if you're good and you get good time, you only do 2/3 of that, which would have been 240 days, 8 months. So, so I was basically going to do 8 months unless I got into it in there. So, um, which I mean, a couple things happened, but I didn't lose any of my good time. But anyways, I ended up going into court, and the dude offered me. He gave me the paperwork and stuff, and he's like, "Here's what they're offering." He's like, "It's up to you if you want to take it." He's like, I think that's good. He's like, I mean, he's like, the stuff that I've seen before. He's like, I think that what they're offering you seems reasonable. He's like, we might be able to get it down a little bit, but it's going to be a lot of coming back to court and stuff. He kind of explained to me in the trial process, and if I'm going to trial, and I had already heard people's stories in there, and people telling me, oh, I asked how long people they're there at West Valley Detention Center, because that's where you're at until you get sentenced. Once you get sentenced, you go to the other place. But all right, guys. So back to what I was saying. So I went into I go in the courtroom, and the judge, turns out, I didn't know at the time, but that judge is the same judge that my brother had just had, and I didn't know this at the time. I found out after the fact, but he had just sentenced my brother to 6 months. And deep down, I think that he thought I was my brother, and somehow my brother ended up back in court. Well, they say that some people say that the judge threw the book at them. It's pretty much what happened to me. Even people after, I didn't even know what that meant, but somebody after was like, "Damn, they threw the book at you." I'm like, I didn't know what it meant, but it's basically when the judge just gives you the maximum sentence. But I get up there, the judge calls my name, and he's like, "Mr. Chavez, It's like, oh, it's nice to see you, or something. Says something about seeing you again. You're lucky I'm not sending you to prison right now. He said, you're gonna do 365 days in the county jail. There was nothing I could do. I had already agreed with the public defender that I was gonna plead guilty to that plea, so he knew. He was just trying to shine or something. I don't know. Like I said, I thought he maybe thought I was my brother. So who knows? Yeah, I took the 365 and I ran with it. You know, what could I do? This is the state telling you have to do this. Mommy and daddy can't come help you. You know, I was on my own anyway. I faced the fact that I needed to face consequences to my actions that I took, because I did a lot of stupid shit, a lot of illegal stuff, and it was bound to get me caught up somewhere. So in the end, yeah, I took the time. In my mind, I was riding on the rotation. I you know, something at that time I was very spiritual, and something I was praying a lot at the time. You know, I've always been a godly man. You know, I was in the Bible, I was going to church and stuff, the, you know, chaplain and stuff, and I was doing everything that I felt I needed to do in God's eyes. You know, I was very humbled, and I was very I knew that I knew that if any time's good as any, now is the time that, you know, God will come back into my life and help restore me, because I was clean. You know, I was praying. I truly believed in Him and did everything I was supposed to be doing. And something deep down told me that I would get on rotation. I felt like I was hearing that person's conversation for a reason, you know. And the dude was like, he was cool. He was more than happy to tell me, yeah, dude, you'll talk to this officer so and so when you get to once you get sentenced. But you can't do it until you get sentenced. So took the 365, and within 2 weeks I was up in Big Bear. You know, in the 2 weeks, it was probably two and a half, maybe 3 weeks. I don't even think it was 3 weeks, but in that time, a lot happened. I went from the orange unit in Glen Helen to the blue unit, which is the workers unit. You know, I did the clothing exchange. I ended up running into my brother, threw him some clothes, did the clothing exchange, and not even 2 days later, I ended up getting rolled up and going to Big Bear on rotation, and had a good ass time. And that's for my next video. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Guys, you're watching Ryan Michael Chavez on the RMC Files. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the content. Please like, subscribe, and comment if you guys have any suggestions or any questions, or any criticism will be appreciated. And if you guys want to donate, I'm going to leave my Cash App in the description. It's TerpNerd420, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.